the year before. Nevertheless, in less than 5 years, they had managed to pocket hundreds of thousands of dollars from banks that did not care if the loans they were making were in any way responsible. People were doing things they never should have been doing, our agent Minerva Boyd said when we told her about the scheme. Minerva, a 68-year-old African-American divorcee from Tyler, Texas, was also a neighbor of ours in the nonprofit housing complex. She'd spent weeks driving us to open homes in her silver Nissan Altima before locating this foreclosure, which was discounted on account of its confusing tenant situation. My wife, Nock, and I hadn't been looking for a home on top of this hill. I wanted to live closer to the shops and streetcar line that ran down Ocean Avenue, from City College of San Francisco to the Tony neighborhood of West Portal, and then into a tunnel that sped commuters downtown each morning. And yet, when I saw the house, I felt like we had won the lottery. A third-generation San Franciscan who has never felt at home anywhere else, I had previously given up the possibility of raising my own children in the city of my birth. Successive waves of gentrification had driven real estate prices far beyond the modest means of working journalists, and the housing bubble had made things worse. Now, thanks to the bust, a home had miraculously fallen into my price range. If I could pull this off, we would have the peace of mind that came with our own piece of land. We would know that if we worked hard and made our mortgage payments, we could never be evicted. Secure in the locked-in payments of a fixed-rate mortgage, we'd be able to breathe easy with the knowledge that there would be no landlord to skimp on repairs, jack up the rent, or try to force us out in favor of wealthier tenants. Still, there were complications. I worried that if we did buy the house, we wouldn't be able to move in. The garage was full of junk hoarded by one of the women, a thin 44-year-old with hip rectangular eyeglasses who, together with another one of the three speculators, had sold the home at a hefty profit in 2007 when all appeared fine in the housing market. Now she was claiming to be a tenant, creating a sticky legal situation that drove away other prospective buyers. But we needed to move. Nock was pregnant with our first child, and though we had rearranged our apartment to fit a crib in our bedroom, we knew we would soon need more space than our affordable housing unit could provide. Our families urged us to be aggressive. Nock had come to the United States as a refugee in 1975, the result of the courageous actions of her father, a lieutenant in the South Vietnamese Navy. On April 30th, the day Saigon fell to the communist North Vietnamese, he loaded his family onto a boat and steered it to an American base in the Philippines. After the U.S. government flew them to a resettlement camp in Arkansas, her family made a series of brief moves. First to the cold of western Michigan, where they were sponsored by a Christian family, then to not much warmer upstate New York, where they reunited with other members of the Wang clan, before settling in Southern California. Nock's parents toiled for decades as factory workers in the aerospace industry. Her father, a swing-shift machinist, logged hundreds of hours of overtime, while her mother labored 6 days a week making brake parts on an assembly line. But like millions of other immigrants, their path to the American dream also had a lot to do with savvy real estate investments. In 1979, just 4 years after they arrived in the States, the two pooled together their life savings, much of which they had carried out by hand in the form of gold bars as they fled Vietnam, and bought a small single-story bungalow near LA's Griffith Park for $24,000 in cash. By 1987, the home had already increased in value, so they went to Bank of America and took out a $30,000 home equity loan to finance the purchase of a mini-mart and a small apartment building in the San Fernando Valley. 2 more apartment buildings followed. While the women who speculated on our house were in it for the quick flip, Nock's family invested for the long haul. They never stopped working their blue-collar jobs and dedicated their nights and weekends to maintaining the buildings themselves. They made money month after month charging rent on the apartments. Eventually, they sold them, using the profits to buy a laundromat and then a small medical building on Ball Street in Anaheim, a stone's throw from Disneyland. As property values increased, their wealth grew, their future secure. "Buy property," was one of her father's favorite sayings. After the crash, it seemed to begin every conversation. "You want to find something in a neighborhood that's up and coming, not one that's hot right now. You'll end up paying too much."